Final game in America, bro. This is the Umbuemo debut. Damn, what a day, man. Massive day, match day for Manchester United. And it's finally that time. It is finally that time where fans have been asking for. The two new players, the two new signings are gonna be featured, right? So Mbuemo, Cunha, this might be the day we just see both of them, and definitely the manager did say this is gonna be the day for Brian Mbuemo. So hey, what a day, man! What a day! It's match day, and we all just wanna just see this team play and just deliver, man. It's finally time, and match days are what we come for, bro. Just watching Manchester United, regardless of whether it's preseason or not. This team, bro, we just want to see this team play. We just want to see this team perform. And can we reach a situation where, as Man United, we keep this consistency? Because it's been good, bro. It has been amazing in preseason. Preseason has been fantastic, bro. We've seen some goals, especially in America. Obviously, our first preseason game against Leeds, it wasn't too entertaining, 0-0. But the previous two, amazing, bro. Amazing games. We saw some goals. We saw a situation where both team, I think Man United, both halves, right? Both halves, the first half team and the second half team, especially in the previous game, right? Both teams are delivering, right? And we have this massive Cesco news as well, bro. Cesco, Fabrizio has been talking, and yo, so much is just going on with Man United, right? Fabrizio, he's given an update on Cesco. He's given an update on the midfielder. He's also given an update on some rumors, whether these rumors are true or not. So, yo, it's a massive day, bro. It's a massive day. We get to watch Manchester United Cesco drama, and it's just amazing that okay, the Premier League is about to return. Of course, a lot of fans are not really too confident. What's Man United genuinely gonna do? How are we genuinely gonna move forward? What's really the plan with Manchester United? But let's see, man. Let's take it step by step. Let's just get into this Cesco news, man. It's major. It is major.
Wanted to ask you guys, wanted to update, sorry, you guys also the situation of Benjamin Cesco. I'm receiving many questions. As I told you earlier today, Newcastle sent a bid. There is a negotiation ongoing with Red Bull Leipzig. Newcastle are ready to pay what it takes to Red Bull Leipzig. I know there is a lot of talk about the bids, guys. Accepted, rejected, bid done, bid sent. I repeat what I told you earlier. This depends on Cesco. When Cesco will say, I want to go to this club, this story will take a clear direction. But
So Fabrizio Romano is just saying, hey, basically this deal is down to the player, bro. It's down to the player. So Fabrizio Romano just breaking it down and saying, hey, basically, yo, Newcastle, they can bid this, they can bid that, but it's genuinely down to the player. And I think that's an aspect where RB Leipzig, they're only gonna accept a bid if the player is in favor, bro. They're not gonna accept a bid probably that, hey, Cesco doesn't really want to go, bro. They don't want a situation where they're forcing him out. And of course, as a team, they want money, but let's hear more, bro.
bids at the moment are not going to make the difference because Newcastle are going to pay what is needed if Cesco decides to join them, and Manchester United are ready to bid and start the negotiation if Cesco decides to join them. So this depends on Benjamin Cesco. It's late night on Saturday, the night between Saturday and Sunday, and Cesco at the moment has still not decided. I told you on Tuesday it's not going to be tomorrow, on Wednesday it's not going to be tomorrow, on Friday it's not going to be tomorrow, on Thursday it's not going to be tomorrow. I keep repeating that story. But from now on, we are entering into really important stages. I can add two more factors, guys, to this story. Two small details. The first one, the agent of Cesco is now in Leipzig to speak directly with the player and also to help negotiations with Red Bull Leipzig. But he's now with the player, and so we are entering now into the decision time for Benjamin Cesco.
So it's just decision time, and we had a massive update from David Ornstein, right? He broke down the official deal. He said, "Hey, RB Leipzig view Newcastle's offer for Benjamin Cesco as insufficient." So it was insufficient. Apparently, it was 75 million euros plus 5 million add-ons, right? So they rejected that, and looks like we're still in the race, man. According to Fabrizio Romano, you're saying if Cesco doesn't want to join us, then which striker should we go for? Gonzalo Ramos. You want Gonzalo Ramos from PSG? I think we might just go for like a Premier League striker, right? We know Mateta. I think we might go a late run for Mateta as well from Crystal Palace. If Cesco doesn't really work out, because we can see that, okay, Man United are going all out for Cesco, Benjamin Cesco, Vivel. He's gone to Germany to try and negotiate. A lot of our people have literally just gone to Germany, try and negotiate, talking to RB Leipzig, and we've heard from Fabrizio Romano. At the end of the day, it's gonna be down to the player, bro. It's gonna be down to what this man genuinely wants, right? Other clubs can bid this, they can bid that, but it's gonna be down to Benjamin Cesco. So, hey, let's just hear a bit more from Fabrizio, man, because hey, this is gonna take long, right? This might take as long as the Brian and Buemo deal, because we remember how long it was, that Brian and Buemo deal, bro. It was massively long to just see this deal, and we as fans, we want a conclusion. Of course, every fan wants to see just some type of conclusion with this, but hey, it's gonna take massively long, bro.
He traveled there today after he closed another deal in the last 24, 48 hours. So now, full focus on the Cesco decision. And then the other factor, Manchester United made clear to Red Bull Leipzig again on Saturday night that they will send a bid for Benjamin Cesco if the player will open doors to join them. So Newcastle already put the money on the table, but since last week they told Leipzig, we are ready, we will pay. They told the agent, we are ready, we will pay. Now, Manchester United, after contact made a few days ago, told again tonight to Red Bull Leipzig, we are prepared to come and bid for Cesco. It's like saying, we are also here. It's not just Newcastle putting the money on the table. Newcastle are paying whatever it takes. And so obviously financially it's a different position. But Man United are prepared to open talks. Man United are prepared to enter in the scene. Man United are prepared to bid. But if Benjamin Cesco decides to join them.
Yeah, bro. So United, we're there. We're in the conversation. We are in the final conversation, just ready to bid, ready to go to that next. We're in the conversation for sure. And looks like Benjamin Cesco is our number one striker. So that's the. Let's see if we'll go for him, bro. Because let's see. He's a solid option for sure. But let's see. Will we go for him? I think we already have options. I think they already have a tier list for the strikers we genuinely want, bro. So do I see them diverting from Cesco? Looks like they've already gone all out, right? Looks like Man United have already gone all out for Benjamin Cesco. I think before we were hearing about Gyökeres, before Gyökeres it was Delap, but now at least with Cesco, it's something substantial, bro. We're about to make a bid, right? We're about to make an offer, at least with the other strikers, with the other options, like a Gyökeres, like a Delap. We never really made a bid. We never really made the final step. So at least now, Man United, this is really concrete, bro. This is really concrete. Yeah, he's a proper striker, but bro, we have like a tier list, right? Looks like the board have. They're fully focused on Benjamin Cesco, bro. They are fully focused on Benjamin Cesco. We've even heard of the other options like, because we've heard a lot of options recently, bro, but now they've just been focused on Benjamin Cesco. And Fabrizio Romano was also like giving updates on midfield, things like that. So we're getting active now. We are getting active now. We're near that Premier League season, and it's just about decision time. It's just about getting these players in, right? Before that first game against Arsenal. I think that's the mindset from the board. Okay, the Premier League is about to start. Let's get this striker deal over the line. And I think that's why there's so much urgency right now, bro. That's why there's so much urgency right now, because right now it's just about getting this deal over the line, right? the Premier League is about to start, and now they're feeling that urgency. That's why they're going all out on Benjamin Cesco. Okay, the mindset is probably, hey, Premier League is about to begin. Let's get this guy over the line right now. Let's get these guys past right now, right? So we don't have time, bro. We don't have time, and we've heard the manager speaking a lot, right? He was saying at least some of my players have come in early, right? At least some of my players came in during preseason, and with the board, they obviously want to get in a striker before that Arsenal game. That maybe that's the real mindset from the board, bro. You're saying sorry, Man U fans. I'm praying for Cesco to reject us. Hey, so you don't want Cesco? I understand that, bro. I understand that, but it looks like he is our main option, bro. He is our main option. I understand why you wouldn't really want Cesco. Obviously, a lot of fans are not really convinced with Cesco. Some fans are saying, hey, Benjamin Cesco, is he experienced enough to carry us in the Premier League, right? Does he have that experience to carry us in the Premier League? But I think he'll be okay, bro. I think let's just hope whichever striker we bring in is successful, bro, because time is ticking, and now the Premier League is really coming back, right? This is our last preseason game in America. We're gonna have another one at Old Trafford, Florentina versus Manchester United. That's gonna be our last one, but this is our last one in America. So, well, at least we're gonna see our new signings, both of them, right? Cunha and Buemo. That's what fans have been asking for. Fans have been asking for a situation of, okay, let's see our new guys. Let's see Buemo. Let's see Cunha link up. That's what people are really excited for. Okay, these two guys, let's see how they link up. But yo, Benjamin Cesco's situation, it looks like it's concrete now. It is concrete. We're seeing bids, we're seeing things, we're seeing movement. Our board directors are going to Germany. So there's a lot of action in this deal, bro. There's a lot of action in this deal.
Obviously, Manchester United feel that Benjamin Cesco is still deciding, has not decided to go to Newcastle. 24 hours ago, some reports from Slovenia were mentioning, okay, Cesco has decided he goes to Newcastle. Cesco has not decided yet. It's still 50-50. Newcastle, by United, but United made new contact with Leipzig, and so this story is absolutely open between the two clubs.
And Fabrizio Romano went on to just talk a bit about like midfield as well, right? Midfield were asking the situation of, okay, what's really going on with the midfield? But Fabrizio Romano giving an update. Yeah, bro, we're going to win a trophy, bro. We are going to win a trophy tonight, obviously, bro. Let's hope Man United do win against Everton. I think it's gonna be an exciting game. During this preseason, we've just been seeing some good football, some great patterns of play, right? It's just been amazing, man. It's just been amazing. United, don't let us down in the final game, and let's hope they can carry this form into the Premier League. Yeah, but Fabrizio Romano genuinely talking about like midfield. Midfield, I know a lot of people want somebody like Baleba. We've been hearing rumors of this player, that player, but I think the midfield right now, we're genuinely just focused on a striker. I think after a striker, certified midfielders will come in, because we're hearing that Edison, one of our midfield targets, Edison, he's about to sign a new contract with Atalanta. So that Edison situation looks like we might it looks like Edison might be a midfielder that we might have to remove off the list, right? Because he's about to sign like a new contract with Atalanta, and looks like he's gonna stay at Atalanta. So Edison, he's one of the options we might have to remove. We've heard somebody like Douglas Luiz. Let's see what happens with that. Obviously, fans want Baleba, but will Man United put in that cash for Baleba at Manchester United? So midfield, we don't really know what's gonna go on. I think the perfect guy was gonna be Richard Rios, right? If we got Richard Rios, we can see how he's performing for his new club, Benfica. First game, man of the match, bro. He's an insane talent. He's an insane talent. So we should have just gone for him, bro. We should have just gone for my guy Richard Rios, but looks like Edison out of the race. He's about to sign a new contract. But Fabrizio Romano talking a bit more, bro. You're saying we need to get Wharton or Baleba, and those are the main targets for the fans. Fans are saying, okay, Wharton, Baleba, those should be the main guys, right? Those should be the guys we actually go for. But Man United, who are they genuinely gonna put in the cash for? Because we know Baleba is gonna be expensive. Even Wharton, he's not gonna be cheap. So at least let's see, man. Let's see how it moves. But I think every fan can agree that okay, we need some midfielders. We need a midfielder in the squad. We need somebody to come in and just bring in some energy, right? A lot of our midfielders are a bit old, right? Our midfield is aging out. Casemiro, he's aging out a bit. Of course, you'll say Kobe Mano and Nogate, but we don't want to experiment too much, bro. We don't want to experiment too much. I think just bring in a certified Premier League experienced midfielder, right? Somebody like a Wharton, somebody like a Baleba. But let's hear, bro.
About Man United also in this video because, first of all, today many of you sent me the links between Manchester United and Fermin Lopez, midfielder of Barcelona. Maybe after yesterday I told you that Manchester United really...
So we've been hearing this Fermin Lopez. He plays for Barca. Obviously, Barca have made him like available, some type of situation like that. And other journalists, they've been linking him to Man United, but Fabrizio Romano coming in to clear their air, bro.
Consider the possibility to bring in a new midfielder in the squad. Today, many reports on different names. Guys, what I can tell you, just to go with some order. First point, Manchester United considered the possibility to bring in a new midfielder this summer. So, just to explain to you the situation. Priority, striker. Manchester United want to go for an important striker, and in a minute we will talk about the Benjamin Cesco situation. Goalkeeper, it's a possibility. It's not something guaranteed, but it's a possibility. With older options, experienced options, just to say, for one of the best goalkeepers in the world, like Eddie Martinez, but very difficult because Aston Villa already turned down two approaches, and then Lemmens from Royal Antwerp with the opportunity for Manchester United to go for a younger goalkeeper and also more options in terms of younger goalkeepers. So, goalkeeper, striker priority, goalkeeper as an option, not a guarantee, and as an option also midfielder, in case there is the opportunity. The links on Fermin Lopez. At the moment, I'm told that there is nothing concrete into it. Also because, first point, Barcelona don't want to sell Fermin Lopez. Second point, any chance for Fermin Lopez to go this month is only in case the player goes to Barca, goes to the director Deco, goes to the coach Flick and says, I want to go, I want to leave. In that case, Barca can say, okay, let's find a solution, but Barcelona want to keep the player, Barcelona trust the player, Barcelona believe that their squad is perfect like this.
So that was actually fake news, right? Fabrizio Romano saying, hey, this was fake news. Fermin Lopez to Manchester United, nothing really going on there, right? And he said if we do get a goalkeeper, it'll be an option. If we do get like a midfielder, he's saying it might be an option. So let's see how we move there. Let's see how. But striker for sure, a striker will happen. But I agree with you, bro. Like we need at least maybe even two good midfielders because we see the situation. Okay, after this game. Toby Collier is going to go out on loan. Obviously, Ethan Wheatley, he went out on loan and he played his first game out on loan. So a lot of academy players, they will be going out on loan. I think right after this game, especially some of the academy players that are with the squad, right? Some of them will be loaned out. Let's see what happens with Achida Obi. Does he genuinely stay at Man United again? Just because we're getting a new striker, right? Cheetah Obi, the situation, I think he just needs a loan deal, right? Go to Germany, go to La Liga, start playing some games, start genuinely cementing yourself into a team, get some experience. Because if Man United genuinely do get in a striker, let's say it is a Benjamin Cesco, what's the situation with Chido Obi? Because right now you're gonna be third choice, and we're hearing also reports of Hoyland. Apparently, Hoyland, he doesn't want to leave, right? Man United are willing to let him go. They want around 30 million, and they might include Hoyland in that Cesco deal. So the only situation with that is that Hoyland is fighting to remain, right? Hoyland is fighting to stay at Man United. So that might be another massive issue for us as a club. Okay, Rasmus Hoyland, what's really going on? What's genuinely going on? Right? If we don't sell him, we might be stuck. We genuinely might be stuck. But yeah, Fabrizio Romano giving so many updates.
They don't want to do any changes. And also, at the moment, I'm not aware of Fermin Lopez. Even if all of this happens, the financial package for Fermin Lopez has to be a really special package. So, look, at the moment, nothing into it. And nothing really concrete into the Fermin story. If something happens, I will come here and clarify. Many questions also about Al Nasser and Bruno Fernandes as an option.
So this was another rumor, right? Another rumor. The Saudi links with Bruno Fernandes came back, and Fabrizio Romano clear in the air. Obviously, we heard a lot of rumors of Bruno to Saudi a long time ago, but those rumors have come back. Apparently, Ronaldo wants him at Saudi, a situation like that. And Fabrizio Romano just clear in the air. This is fake news. This is not genuinely going on, right? Bruno, he's focused on Manchester United. He wants to stay here for another year. So him going to Al Nassr, there's nothing in this. And we've heard a lot of rumors of Man United players going to Saudi. Casemiro, apparently, we heard that months ago, right? Months ago, apparently Casemiro was going to go to Saudi. Fabrizio Romano came out to say, no, that's fake news. And also this Bruno to Al Nassr, it's also fake news. But with United, bro, let's see what we do. It's all about what we do in this transfer window. I do genuinely think, not this season, bro. Not this season. Bruno Fernandes is staying, and he put out a statement a couple weeks ago, right? After that whole Bruno to Saudi situation, he put out a statement and he just said, yo, I'm happy to be here. I think Bruno, he's gonna stay here for at least one more season. Yeah, definitely next year. Next year might be the year Bruno Fernandes genuinely goes to Saudi. I think he's gonna give us 100% this season for sure, but definitely next year it might be the time for Bruno to go to Saudi. You're saying Casemiro should have gone this summer. I think you are right, because if Cas went, you bring in somebody like a Beleba, you have new life, you have fresh legs. At least this is the season to genuinely build in, right? Ruben Amorim, he was talking. He was genuinely talking, and the most interesting thing he said was about the revamp of Carrington. It feels like a new life. It feels like a new Manchester United, because they've really transformed Carrington. And when Manchester United go back to Manchester, they're gonna have like a new training facility, obviously a revamped Carrington. The overall training facility will look brand new, will look refreshed, revamped. And the manager was saying, hey, this is positive for him, right? Because you never see a situation like this. Let me try and play a bit of what he said, because it's really, really positive for him, because he was saying it feels like a new start.
People that played with the guys was really important, because they are everything that we were expecting. I'm a little bit. I try to work with the team, and then the way the team responds is the way I'm feeling, because they are my image. So I can be happier when the team performs well. And performs is not just, sometimes you can perform well in certain things and play bad. But I think they are giving everything, and that is the most important thing. I'm really happy with that. You have.
So I think the way he was talking, he really feels like this is a brand new start for Manchester United, right? New season. Obviously, he went on to say that, hey, last season we can't forget about it. It has happened. Last season was a thing, and it hurt him. It hurt the manager. But this is a new season. This is a new start. We're seeing some improvement. And Carrington, it's been revamped. So everything feels like a fresh start right now. Everything feels like a fresh start right now. You're saying Casemiro is just terrible against any EPL clubs. He will only perform well against Spanish clubs. We saw him perform okay against some EPL teams, bro. We did see him perform okay, but especially under Eric Ten Hag, I think it's just a situation of Casemiro is just getting old, bro. I think it might just be time to move him on, because when he did come when we won the Carabao Cup, he was really important. When we won the FA Cup, he was really important. But I think last season it wasn't his greatest in the Premier League, right? Obviously Europa League he showed better performances, but Premier League it wasn't really his greatest. So we just need to just start the season with a fresh life, man. Fresh life, new blood, and just a mindset of, hey, let's try and win something, right? Let's try and build something so that we can win something in the next 2 seasons, at least something major. And this season is just about foundation. We heard what the manager had to say. Okay, this season he feels like he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong. Obviously, a lot of people have written the manager off, and it's about him proving the people wrong, right? It's about him performing. It's about him coming out. Preseason, we've seen a bit of that. We've seen a bit of what he wants to do, bro. You're saying Amorim sounds a bit like CR7, and sometimes that's good, bro. Sometimes that is good when you have that confidence over Ronaldo. Ronaldo was the type of person when he talks, he backs it up, bro. He talks, he backs it up. So let's hope Ruben Amorim is Ronaldo in the fact that, okay, when he says something, he's gonna back it up, because we've heard Ronaldo so many times when he says something, oh, I'm gonna do this, he does it, right? I'm gonna win a Ballon d'Or, he does it. So let's hope that is the same situation with Ruben Amorim. He's saying, hey, this is gonna, good times are coming. Let's hope the good times are coming, right? Because if you're saying Ruben Amorim sounds like CR7, let's hope he is like CR7, where the man backs up his words. The man is gonna deliver, and I think it's just a great situation for Man United. I think we are gonna compete. We are gonna do something this season. Let's just see how far we can go. You're saying hopefully Ethan Williams is going to have a lot of game time. I don't think that will happen, bro. I don't think that will happen this season, because he is a striker. He is a striker, and if we do bring in another striker, we already have Cesco on the bench, and then we don't know what's gonna happen with Rasmus Højlund. Chido Obi is still there, so Ethan Williams. It's we just have to see, bro. We just have to see. We just have to see, because we have like a lot of young attacking players at Man United, right? Chido Obi, obviously fans do love Ethan Wheatley. He's doing his thing on loan. So we have a lot of young strikers. Whoever makes it, I'll be happy, bro. If it's a situation of, hey, Ethan Wheatley makes it over Chido Obi, I think fans will still be happy, as long as we just get something, right? Get somebody consistent, get somebody unbelievable, and our academy is forming up a bit better, bro. It is forming up a bit better. We're seeing guys like Kobe Mano coming through, guys like Toby Collier coming through. The quality is improving, bro. The quality in the academy is improving. I know Aiden Heaven isn't necessarily an academy player, but also the recruitment for the academy, it's improving as well. So Man United, we're just improving as a team, bro. Academy level, you're improving. I think the women's team is improving as well. I don't know where they finished that season, but a few seasons ago, they won like an FA Cup or something like that. So it looks like overall, the club, I think that should be the main mindset. Okay, let's build every foundation, whether it's the women's team, whether it's the academy. Let's be competitive, bro, because any team that wears the badge Manchester United, you gotta be winning, whether it's the women's team, whether it's the under 18s, whether it's the under 16s. You gotta have good players, bro. And the senior team is the most important thing as well, right? The senior team, when you're wearing that Manchester United badge, you gotta have players that are competing. That's why fans are genuinely screaming out for a new midfielder, some new life into the midfield. Fans are really crying out, okay, a Baleba situation, or even whoever comes in has to perform, right? Whoever we bring in has to genuinely perform. But I think the foundation we're building, somebody like a Matthias Cunha, we've seen him, bro. He's Premier League proven. The manager, the way Ruben Amorim genuinely talks about Cunha, I think it gives you so much confidence. It gives you so much belief, and just so much to actually look forward to. Okay, somebody like Acuna coming in, he's an upgrade on Garnacho, bro. I'm gonna say this right now because last season we saw the decision making from a Garnacho and from other players, bro. Our attacking players last season, decision making in the final third wasn't there. And now that you have Cunha, Mbuemo, I think it's a better foundation, right? It's a better foundation, bro. It's a better foundation. You're saying it's actually so hard to sell Garnacho for a great price. Chelsea are not going to sign Garnacho for 50 million. Yeah, and we heard a lot of news about the Garnacho situation, bro. Apparently somebody like Besiktas made an approach for Garnacho, but he only wants Chelsea, right? There was a situation where Fabrizio Romano was breaking it down, and apparently Garnacho liked one of Fabrizio's Instagram posts about him to Chelsea. So looks like Garnacho, he's liking some of these Instagram posts of Fabrizio Romano saying Garnacho to Chelsea. The player only wants Chelsea, this and that. So Fabrizio has made one or two posts about Garnacho to Chelsea, and he's liked both of them. So looks like that is concrete, right? The player wants Chelsea, and he wouldn't like a post if it was fake news. So Fabrizio Romano saying he only wants Chelsea. Chelsea might go for him in the next few days, and it might be a situation of 30 million. That's what they value Garnacho at. But I think that's we should have sold him January. I think Man United, we played ourselves with this Garnacho thing. We should have sold him January when a 50-something million pound bid was made. Right? That bid was made by Napoli. Chelsea wanted to make that type of bid in January. So we should have sold him while the price tag was still hot. Because right now, Chelsea are seeing the situation. Right? Chelsea are looking at the situation and saying, hey, Man United, they don't even want to play Garnacho. So why should we overpay? They're looking at that situation and saying, yo, let's hope Garnacho to Chelsea will happen soon because we do need that money. 100% profit. He's an academy player, so we do need that money, bro. We genuinely do need that money. And although we might just get like a 30 million or 40 million for Garnacho, the main thing is that it's 100% profit, right? A lot of fans who see it as a loss, things like that, but getting a 40 million, even a 50 million would be great, right? A 50 million for Garnacho would be great because all that is 100% profit. Because looking at other guys, if you sell Sancho, it's a loss. If you sell Hoyland, it's a loss, massive loss. Anthony is a massive loss. So the only player you're making profit on is probably Rashford and Garnacho, and Rashford is only a loan deal, right? So we've made so many losses in the past few years, right? Paul Pogba, you signed him for a lot of money, he left for free. So the people doing the transfers need to improve, right? Because we've seen in the previous years, all the players we buy, we're selling them on a loss, bro. It's a loss situation. Anthony is gonna be a loss. Sancho is gonna be a loss. I can't remember the last time we made a profit from a player we bought. So the people doing the negotiations, they've let us down massively, bro. They have let us down massively. That's why I'm saying with the situation of Anthony, bro, you can still get some money if you just force him to Saudi, right? Same with Jadon Sancho. You can still get a 50 million from a Saudi team for Jadon Sancho. So I think we just need to start moving like Chelsea, bro. Look at what they did to João Felix, sending him to Saudi. We gotta start moving like that, bro. You're saying, but Garnacho is still a great player, just not his attitude. I don't think he is unbelievable as a player, but I understand a lot of fans will love Garnacho because he's from the academy, this and that, but it was time to genuinely let go of this man, right? The manager fell apart with him. He had so many inconsistent performances. And as Man United, your main guys have to be consistent. And that is the thing. If Garnacho was like a bench player coming off the bench, impacting games, I think that would be okay. But your starting players, bro, they gotta have consistency, bro. they gotta have consistency, because with Garnacho, lack of consistency, and he'll only affect a game off the bench, right? That's when he affects the game properly. That's why I think if he's not gonna be a bench player, you need guys that are gonna genuinely deliver consistency. Somebody like Mbuemo will bring consistency. Somebody like Acuna will bring massive consistency. So it's just the right time to let go of Garnacho, right? Get that 100% profit, get that money from the Garnacho sale, and let's see what we can do this season, because it's all about what we do as a club, Manchester United. Because it hasn't it's been horrible for us, bro. It has been horrible for us, finishing 15th, two back-to-back seasons, negative goal difference. So in the Premier League, we haven't really done anything that's really substantial, right? Week in, week out, you're seeing below average performances. And we just need to start winning, bro. Start
For the
winning.
midfield, what's going on at Al Nassr? Now they have Portuguese directors, Portuguese coach, Jorge Jesus, who knows very well Bruno Fernandes, this obviously Portuguese legend, Cristiano Ronaldo, and this mentality around him, because now also João Felix joined, so this Portuguese identity.
And that's another thing I just wanted to touch down on, because instead of talking about Bruno to Saudi, we should be talking about Anthony to Saudi, Sancho to Saudi. Those are the guys we should be offering Saudi, because if you genuinely offer Ronaldo's team a Jadon Sancho and Anthony, they're going to take it, right? They're going to take us Jadon Sancho and even bid 50 million. Even 60 million for somebody like Anthony isn't unrealistic for a Saudi team. So we should look at these types of deals. Okay, Sancho to Saudi, you get some money from this guy, right? Anthony to Saudi, you get some money, because with these players, there's no way back for them. I know the manager said, hey, if we fail to sell them, I will integrate them back into the team. But I don't see a way back for Sancho. I don't see a way back for Anthony, right? Even Garnacho, what happened between the manager and Garnacho, I don't see a way back for these players. At least maybe Tyrell Malacia, I see a way back for him, but even with Tyrell Malacia, you just have to get rid of him. So selling players has been an issue, bro. A lot of fans, they were saying Rashford will be the main issue to sell, but Rashford is already gone, right? At least he found a club. These other guys, I genuinely think Sancho would be the main problem. Selling Jadon Sancho, just one, because of his wages, and two, which club are genuinely gonna pay him that, bro? Like, realistically, Juventus have pulled out of the Sancho deal. Looks like Dortmund are coming back for him, but will Dortmund pay him his wages? Will he take a pay cut to go to Dortmund permanently? And with Dortmund, they've actually finessed us, bro. They have actually finessed us, because they sold Jadon Sancho at a high price, and then you're getting him back at what, 20 million? So Dortmund, they have actually finessed us. If they get Sancho back for low wages and for 20 minutes, it's gonna be a finesse, right? Because they sold us Sancho for a lot of money, bro. It was a lot of money. So we've made a massive loss on Jadon Sancho. Just based on the wages we paid him, he was one of the highest paid players in the Premier League. I think it was over 300K. So Sancho realistically was top 5 highest paid players in the Premier League. And we bought him for a massive sum. So all the money adding up to Jadon Sancho, if you look at the output, it is a massive flop, bro. It is a massive flop. If you look at the output Jadon Sancho actually produced for Man United, he's been a massive flop, right? Now we have to be realistic about it, because the wages over 300K a week, he are top 5 most paid players in the Premier League. So we've made a loss. We've made a massive loss from Jadon Sancho, just wages and the amount we paid for him. Because when he came from Dortmund, this man was really expensive, bro. He was really expensive. So him, his fee from Dortmund, his wages, your top 5 highest paid player in the Premier League. So it hasn't really justified anything, right? Obviously when we signed Sancho, he was looked at as one of the best young players, this and that, but he never really delivered, man. He never really delivered. And at least now you're not really paying unbelievable money, right? A guy has to earn that type of money, 300 over 300K a week. Somebody gotta earn that, bro. You gotta earn that. Being at least top 5 most paid players in the Premier League, you gotta earn that. So I'm happy that Man United, you're not just giving out unrealistic wages, because even with Kobe Mainoo, you're negotiating something reasonable, right? You're not just, players have to now earn it, bro. Because Sancho, he came here, Man United, I'm top 5 most paid players in the Premier League. I don't gotta earn anything, right? I don't have to earn anything. I don't have to turn up. So when you pay players that type of money, obviously they'll have a mentality of, hey, I already have my money, man. Let me relax. Look at the situation right now with Sancho, bro. He doesn't want to leave. He would rather stay a reserve player than play actual football because he's making so much money. Your top 5 most paid players in the Premier League. Bro, nobody's going to leave that type of situation. No one is going to leave that type of situation. This guy is making more than players that have really won a Premier League titles, right? He's making more than a Phil Foden. He's making more than a Erling Haaland. So, bro, this guy is really living. He's really getting paid, Sancho. So he's getting paid more than guys that are delivering in the Premier League. That's why his mindset is, hey, let me just sit back and take my money. So we played ourselves by giving these guys too much money, bro. We gotta just at least step by step analyze, okay, these guys, you gotta earn this type of money. You gotta earn what you're making. With Cunha, I love that he's only on 150, somewhere there. Same with Mbuemo, they gotta earn a raise, right? Before they get to 300K, they gotta earn it by delivering, by winning trophies, right? Your next contract, the only way you're gonna get over 300K is by winning something major. So I like the new way we're moving, not just paying a guy like Sancho. Immediately he comes, you offer him 300K, unbelievable money, top 5 most paid players in the Premier League. So I think right now we're moving a bit better. We are moving a bit better with the way we're handing out contracts, bro, because you don't want another Jadon Sancho situation in a few years. The player's only here for money. He's racking up. He doesn't want to leave because he's top 5 paid players in the Premier League. So you don't want a situation like that, bro. You don't want a situation like that. So at least we are moving forward. And with Rasmus Højlund, let's see with Rasmus, bro, because Rasmus, at least selling Rasmus, it won't be complicated. He's not on high wages, thank God. And imagine if we paid Rasmus the type of money Sancho is earning. We would have been stuck. That's why I'm saying just pay these players reasonable amounts of wages. Even Cesco, if Cesco comes, don't overpay him with wages, because there is a possibility Cesco might not work out, and then you need to sell him, and then you're gonna be stuck if you pay him over 200K. That's gonna be the situation, bro. You're gonna be stuck. So thank God Rasmus Højlund is on reasonable wages. Somebody like Garnacho is on reasonable wages. We don't need to really worry about, oh, will this club take him or not? But overall, United, bro, it's gonna be an exciting game today. No doubt about it. Let's hope we do see. I do believe we're gonna win, right? Just based on how we've been playing preseason. A lot of improvement, man. A lot of improvement. But one guy I want to see is somebody like a Sekugone. Let's see. And I think the midfield partnership today, it might be a Kobe Mainoo and Ogate situation, man, because he rested some of these players, and we might see Zersky. Zersky was on tour, but he hasn't really played. So we might see Zersky. Let's see what's happening with Josh. But the main thing is Mbuemo, man. I'm really excited to just see Mbuemo play, perform, and it feels like a new Man United, bro. It genuinely feels like a new time. Genuinely feels like a better situation for us as a club. United, at least, I know, hey, Mbuemo, Cunha, they're not massive names, bro. But we've already been down that road of getting massive names, big names. Ooh, Jadon Sancho coming in, and then he doesn't really do a lot. Jadon Sancho was a massive name just based on what he did in the Bundesliga, one of the highest thought of young players in the world, right? So I think right now some fans will be disappointed. Oh, we're not going for an Isaac, this and that, but at least we have a foundation, bro. We have something. It's better than nothing, right? We're building something, and let's just focus on improving as a team, bro. Improving as a club. Somebody like Mbuemo, he's bringing in, and it's all about mentality right now, right? You want players that want to prove themselves, that want to play football, bro. With an Mbuemo, you can see he rejected Tottenham, Newcastle, clubs that were going to pay more money. So these fake rumors about Mbuemo came to Man United for money. Newcastle offering him more money. He rejected that. That's the type of player you want, bro. That is the type of player you want. Newcastle offered Mbuemo more money, and he chose Manchester United. Newcastle have Champions League. They're offering him more money, but he wants to be here. So those are the types of guys you want, bro. With Jadon Sancho, he only came to us because we offered him over a lot of money, bro. He's top 5 most played players in the Premier League. So that's the reason he came. With an Mbuemo, it's a different situation. At least we're moving a bit better, and let's see what we can do today, bro. Let's see how the team are performing. And the manager, he's talking with confidence. Of course, he's gonna speak like this. He's hyping up the fans a bit more, and just the way we've been playing preseason, I think we have a foundation to build from. We have something to get excited for over as United fans. The excitement is there. Mbuemo is here. You guys are genuinely. It's just about delivering now. It's just about delivering, right? You don't want a situation where okay, Premier League starts, and then you're stuck. You don't want that type of situation. But yeah, Benjamin Cesco. Let's see if he comes, because we've been hearing Donnarumma, but a lot of this was coming from Sky Sports. Apparently, Donnarumma, Man United, there is something there, but Fabrizio Romano came out to say there's nothing going on. So I would rather believe Fabrizio, a guy with contacts in Italy, saying, "Yo, there are no talks at this stage between Man United and Donnarumma." All right, that's what Fabrizio Romano was saying. I'd rather believe Fabrizio Romano over Sky Sports, right? Because let's just be real. Donnarumma is Italy number one, bro. He's Italian's number one goalkeeper. And Fabrizio Romano in Italy, bro, this guy's connections. He's got real connections. So I'd rather believe Fabrizio over Sky Sports, because Fabrizio, he's always coming in, bro. He's always delivering. He's always genuinely giving us the truth, right? He's the biggest in this transfer update, this thing, bro. He's the biggest. Him, David Ornstein, they are the biggest, bro. So when Fabrizio Romano saying, "Yo, there are no talks at this stage between Man United and Donnarumma," I believe him. And earlier he did say, "Yo, if it is a goalkeeping situation, Man United will only view that as an option," because we also heard from Ruben Amorim talking about Onana. He said Andre Onana had a bad season because the whole team was poor. So just based on what Ruben Amorim is saying, he views Onana as his number one this season. Just based on those words, and also just hearing what Fabrizio Romano is saying. Okay, if Man United go for a goalkeeper, it's not a guarantee. It's just an option. It's just an option whether they'll go for a goalkeeper or not, because the main one was Martinez, right? Emi Martinez. That loan proposal was rejected. Man United made a loan proposal. It was rejected. And now if United go for a goalkeeper, it will be an option. So that's from Fabrizio Romano, man. He's one of the biggest in this transfer update situation. So I'm gonna believe the man, bro. I'm gonna believe the man. But whoever we bring in, do I trust Onana for a full season? I don't really trust him. I don't genuinely trust him. I think just have a situation where you have a new goalkeeper. I'm tired of Onana, tired of Altay Bindier. of course, the manager, he's going to come out and back these guys. He's going to come out and back Onana, say, no, the only reason Onana was poor is because the whole team was poor. But we've seen it, bro. We've seen it even in the Champions, when we were in the Champions League, Onana making mistakes. Last season, Onana making mistakes. So we've seen it too many times where Onana, there will be a lot of situations where he makes a mistake, cost us a game, and you can't have that at the top level, bro. Top level football, even the Tottenham game, right? Some people say, hey, that Europa League final, we might have gone to extra time because it wasn't unrealistic. That goal Tottenham scored in that Europa League final, it wasn't unrealistic to save. A better goalkeeper does save that shot. But we move. We won't dwell in the past and say, hey, it's because of Onana we lost, right? Because attacking-wise, we didn't show up. We didn't turn up. Midfield-wise, we didn't turn up. That Europa League final was a mess. But some people are saying, hey, maybe if Onana makes that save, we go to extra time or we go to penalties and maybe it's a different situation. So we've seen too many times where Onana makes a mistake and then it costs us the game. So do I trust Onana as the main guy next season? I don't really trust him, bro. I don't trust a situation where Onana is your main guy next season. You gotta just go out there, get a new goalkeeper. Obviously, based on what Fabrizio is saying, he's saying a goalkeeper is only an option, but a goalkeeper should be a priority because as a top team, I know there'll be a situation where a major game, you're 0-0, and then Onana makes a mistake, you lose the game. Because I do believe, hey, our defense has improved massively. Of course, goal difference, when you look at our goal difference, you think, wow, Man United, their defense is horrific. It's horrendous. Negative goal difference, but we have some good defenders, bro. We have some good defenders. I think it's just a situation of injuries last season plus Onana mistakes, bro. And individual mistakes as well. Do I believe Harry Maguire will be playing a massive part? I think if Martinez is fit, we don't really see a lot of Harry Maguire because Delit, I do believe Delit, Lenny, even Martinez are above Harry Maguire. Obviously, if one of those guys get injured, we won't genuinely see Harry Maguire a lot, right? Unless one of those guys get injured, we won't see a lot of Harry. But we have a foundation in defense. Let's build the whole defense with the goalkeeper. A goalkeeper is a must, bro. A goalkeeper is a must because you can't have a solid defense and then a goalkeeper that during corners he's gonna make mistakes. During counterattacks, so you don't know when Onana is gonna make a mistake. You genuinely don't know when this man is gonna make a mistake. He can make a mistake during a corner. He can make a mistake if you don't even know. Even distribution. I've seen Onana make a mistake. Just simple distribution, he's making a mistake. Simple passing, he's making a mistake. So you need a new goalkeeper. You genuinely do need a new goalkeeper because of course you have a foundation in defense, but even if you had the greatest defenders of all time, it won't stop you from the fact that okay, in some moments Onana will make a mistake. So you need a goalkeeper, bro. We need a goalkeeper, but overall, United just get into a situation where you are competing, bro. We just want to compete. We just want to go to that next level. We just want to be in a situation, a scenario where, as a club, you have a foundation. I think the foundation is the best thing ever because if you build a massive foundation, you're looking at top four. I genuinely think, hey, with a certified goalkeeper, a new midfielder, a proper striker, maybe even two midfielders, if you can, right? A proper foundation for Ruben, because I can't even lie. I've seen enough from this preseason to say, okay, the man is justified, right? The man is justified. What he was saying is true. Oh, I only need a preseason. The performances will improve. You're gonna see patterns of play. You're gonna see a style of play. You're gonna see better attacking plays. We've seen that in preseason, bro. We've genuinely seen that in preseason. So Ruben Amorim, he's shown me from I know it's only preseason, but he's shown me a lot from preseason that he can improve as a manager. And last season, the main issue was winning against the small teams. Your Bournemouth, your West Ham, teams like that. Those were the guys who were struggling against, right? Getting points against Man City, we did that, bro. Getting a points against Liverpool, Arsenal, we did that, right? Knocking Arsenal out of the Carabao Cup, we did that. The big teams, we showed up. It's the small games where you're losing week in, week out. Oh no, Brighton 2-0. Oh no, Bournemouth 3-0. That was the situation with Man United. That's why the season felt so long, because the only time we got a win was maybe against Leicester City, Ipswich, or Man City, Liverpool. Those were the only games we actually got results in. If you look back at like our performances last season under Ruben Amorim, it was only the three teams that got relegated: Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester City, where we got 3 points against, and Man City as well. So it was only a few games, bro. It was only a few games, right? Liverpool, we got a point. I think one of the Arsenal games we did something. Oh no, Arsenal beat us home and away. Sorry, it was in the Carabao Cup where we beat Arsenal. But the big games, it's not really a massive worry, bro. It's not really a massive worry. It's these small teams, right? The small teams. And now in preseason, he's showing the fans that, okay, small teams, we can literally compete. And do I believe, hey, with consistency, anything can happen, bro? I think having dreams of top four and above top four, it's not really unrealistic, just based on what Ruben Amorim is showing in preseason. I don't think it's extremely unrealistic. And with Chelsea, yes, Chelsea have been good in the Club World Cup, but they will have inconsistent performances. Arsenal, the same thing, inconsistent performances. So we don't know about Tottenham. Tottenham might be up there. They might be up there for that top four race. Obviously, Man City, they are gonna get top four. Liverpool looks like they will get top four for sure. The only doubts are probably Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham. Those are the guys where you're asking yourself, okay, what type of season will I think Man City, Liverpool, they're guaranteed top four. Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, those are the guys you're genuinely asking the question, hey, can we finish above these guys? It's not unrealistic if we have some consistency, bro. It's not unrealistic if you bring in a proper striker, bring in some real midfielders, because the way we're playing in preseason, if you can take that into the real season, into the Premier League season, I think you can get top four comfortably. Look at the way we're beating these teams. I know Bournemouth, West Ham, if we start doing that in the Premier League, top four is coming for sure. For sure, bro, because it's the small teams that accumulate you points. These Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, all these other teams, bro. Burnley, when you face Burnley, you're supposed to destroy them. The goal difference is supposed to be high this season. So I believe in Ruben Amorim this season, man. Just get him a goalkeeper, get him a midfielder, get him a proper striker, and we can compete, man. I genuinely do believe, we might shock some people if we just get the proper foundation. Just based on the foundation I've seen in preseason, the way we're playing in preseason, it's really encouraging. And you're seeing a lot and saying, okay, on our best day, not a lot of teams will be able to beat us, right? We even heard what the Bournemouth manager had to say. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. And a lot of fans are surprised with the way Man United are playing in preseason, right? Bournemouth manager came out after the game. He genuinely looked shocked. People should watch that interview. I think it is on the Bournemouth YouTube channel. So people should watch that interview. He looked surprised. Hey, is this the same Manchester United? So we are really doing something. We've really improved. I think the foundation looks way better. the foundation of the way we're playing and how composed we are. Of course, there are a lot of situations where we can improve as a team, bro. Massive situations where, okay, you don't know. We saw in the previous game, keeping a clean sheet is another situation, but that's gonna happen when you're interchanging two halves, right? The first half team is different to the second half team, but there are some situations where you're saying, okay, there is massive improvement. But the left back situation, left wing back, Dogu looks to be in form, right? We didn't see that during the season. He looks better right now. He looks better. It's only that right hand, even the right hand side, Ahmad getting some goals as a right wing back. We're gonna see situations like that during the season where Ahmad, that goal he scored against Bournemouth, we're gonna see a lot of situations like that where Ahmad is scoring goals like that, bro. He's gonna be. I know he was playing as a number 10, but as a right wing back, he's gonna be dangerous. And we have to remember last season Amad Diallo was injured. So I do believe as a club, bro, we have improved preseason. Let's just hope we don't get any injuries during the season, and defensive injuries. We need to avoid that because I know for sure if a Delit, a Martinez gets injured, our season is over. Right? I can say that for sure because of course Lenny and Aiden Heaven are amazing. Maguire is amazing, but in the high pressure moments, Delit will be the guy getting you out of out of danger, bro. In high pressure moments, I think he's a leader. He's literally composed. He has the mindset as a captain, bro. He just knows what to do. I think he's our best defender, no doubt about it, bro. Obviously, on the ball, you can say Martinez is better than on the ball, but we still have a foundation of every type of defender. Defenders that are good on the ball, but traditional types of defenders like he's really like that traditional Italian type of defender where it's all about defending first, bro. For it's all about defending first, right? Not this fancy, playing out the back, this and that. It's all about defending first. And he's really quality, bro. He's really quality defensively. I think with the make sure he stays fit. Martinez, let's hope he can stay fit. Lenny Yoro will be chipping in. You still have Mazraoui. I think defensive foundation is already set, bro. It's already set, our defensive foundation. And let's just hope we keep improving, right? So I do think, we can shock a lot of teams. Premier League, we are going to shock a lot of teams, bro. We're gonna shock a lot of teams, bro. I do believe, let's let's see what happens. Let's genuinely see what happens, man. Let's just hope it's not as poor as last season, right? If it is as poor as last season, I think a lot of fans will zone out from games. Let's just hope we're not in a scenario where the season starts badly and then you're out of the top 4 race by December. Let's hope it's not another situation like last season. But I think last season was just a once-off, bro. It was a once-off. Nah, Fabrizio. Yeah, he talked earlier, bro. He talked earlier. Fabrizio Romano talked earlier, bro. But let's just hope we have a situation where we're doing something, bro. We are building a foundation, and as a team, just go step by step, step by step. I believe in Ruben Amorim. I think, obviously, I was criticizing him during the season, saying, "Hey, this isn't good enough," right? I wasn't saying he needs to go. I was just saying this isn't good enough. How we losing so many games, but the man has justified himself, bro. He has justified himself, saying, "Okay, with a preseason, you're gonna see a better situation. You're gonna see a better scenario. You're gonna see a better foundation." And we've seen that during preseason, man. Credit to the manager. Credit to him. It's just the board members that are letting us down, bro. It's just the board members. Omar Barada, what's really going on? Give this man a midfielder. Give this man some life into the midfield. give him something, a better situation where we are performing. So I I do believe, yay, we can do something, man. That Chelsea game, Man United versus Chelsea, it'll be exciting. Man United versus Arsenal, it'll be exciting. I think first few games we're gonna win some massive games, bro. You're saying we were losing a lot of games, but the players were on the bench. You're right, bro. Like, the effort wasn't really there last season, bro. It wasn't really there. It wasn't really there. And counterattacks, ah, we were really getting hit on transitions as well. We were really getting hit on transitions, but let's see. If we do what we're doing in preseason, I'm not worried. I'm not genuinely worried. If we just bring in some consistency, we remember last season it was lack of goals and just getting hit on transitions as well, getting destroyed. Players looked like they gave up. A lot of players in the Premier League, they look like they gave up, right? And that's the mentality we're talking about. Let's hope there's a new life of mentality, and that's what the manager was saying in his interview. He was saying, "Hey, it looks like it's a fresh start, right? Mentally, you can see something different with the players. Okay, in the dressing room, it looks like there's a more sense of togetherness, right? That's what the manager was saying in his interview. There's a sense of togetherness, and it looks like the team are going out there to just perform. It feels like it's a brand new Man United, but let's not get too overly excited just because of preseason. These guys gotta deliver in the season, and that's the only way we can judge them. Right now, we can get excited as fans. We're winning in preseason, we're doing our thing, but overall season, what's gonna happen, who's gonna turn up, who's gonna perform, that's the only thing that counts, right? If you're performing in the season, that's the only situation that genuinely counts. You turning up, you performing, you going to that next level. And if we can get a situation where Cunha and Buemo are literally facilitating and scoring, I think we have something. We have something, right? Obviously, some fans are saying, "Hey, Joshua Zerski should be the number one target, the number one striker. Forget about buying a new striker." But I think that's extremely risky, right? Going into a season with only Joshua Zerski as your striker, it's extremely risky because if he gets an injury, you're screwed, bro. You are really, really screwed, right? We know with injuries don't select, bro. Injuries do not select. Oh, I wanna select this guy or that guy. Injuries don't select. So going into a season with only Joshua Zerski, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess. And with Zerski as your number one for a full season, do I trust him to get the goals we need? He's gonna facilitate a lot, right? Obviously, guys like Cunha, guys like Mbuemo, they will score more with Joshua Zerski facilitating and things like that. But overall, throughout the season, at least have two options, right? If you bring in a Zerski, oh sorry, if you bring in a Cesco, and then you have Joshua Zerski as a backup, it's great, bro. That's where you wanna be. That's where you wanna be. You're saying Joshua isn't a striker, first of all. Second of all, it picks up, yeah, injuries, bro. Injuries, bro. But yeah, I think Zerski, we just need somebody that scores goals. With Josh, he can play as a number 10, he can play as a striker, but both of the positions he plays as, we have players there, right? I don't see him starting games this season. I genuinely don't see that situation happening because with Josh, he's gonna be on the bench when Mbuemo is playing. He's gonna be on the bench when our new striker is playing. So Josh, it's good to have a player like that that wants to be a bench player, that wants to come off the bench, and when you need him, he's gonna be there, bro. Yeah, bro, advantage, bro. And it's great that we have somebody like Mount, Zerski on the bench, bro. Like you're capable to rotate and the rotation is the main thing for Man United. You're able to rotate some of these players. A squad depth. We're building a real team. Hey, shout out, bro. Shout out Kenya, bro. Shout out, bro. Shout out, my bro. But yeah, bro, we just need to build that type of foundation. I think every Man United fan can agree that, okay, a real foundation is what we need. I'm not really worried about Ruben Amorim anymore because I think preseason he showed me that, okay, I can make decisions. I can really coach the team and build a proper foundation. And some people are saying this is what he did at Sporting Lisbon. If you go back to what Ruben Amorim did at Sporting, he got rid of some players. The first season wasn't the fanciest for him. He got rid of some players, and then he rebuilt Sporting, right? So we might be seeing the same situation. Okay, he's bringing in a new life, a new mentality, and we heard from his interview, he told the players some other fitness regimen. Okay, this is how I want you to eat, this is what I want you to be training during your holidays. And they look a bit fitter, right? They look lean as well, the players. So the manager, he said in his interview, okay, I instructed them to do this, do that, eat this, eat that, and with the positioning from the players up is way better during preseason, and that's from the manager, bro. That's from the manager. The manager is just building a foundation where a lot of these players, they have something, right? He's told them what to do. He's told them, okay, this is what you eat. This is what you're not supposed to eat. This is the type of training I want you to be doing, because we know a lot of managers have complained. Man United is not a football club, bro. A lot of managers have complained. Man United is not a football club. Even what they eat, not really what other teams are eating. Somewhere like a Man City, you can see it's all about dieting. Pep Guardiola, he speaks about that in a lot of his interviews. Dieting, things, what you eat, how you train, positioning. And that's what Ruben Amorim is bringing into Man United, bro. He's bringing that type of mentality. Okay, what you eat, dieting, the way you train, how you train, even at home, right? So Ruben Amorim was just saying in his interview that is what he's implementing, the foundation as well, foundation outside the club as well. So we never genuinely saw that at Man United for a long time, bro. A lot of managers have complained. I think Louis Van Gaal, he said, hey, Man United is not a football club, it's commercial, this and that. So at least Ruben Amorim, he's really rectifying everything right now. Carrington, it's been revamped, things like that. So we're moving more like a football team and not just a commercial brand, bro. We're moving more like a football team and not just a commercial brand. We know how the Glazers have just ruined Man United, bro. Man United was just commercial brand, this and that. Glazers have genuinely ruined us. And right now, Ruben Amorim bringing a mentality of, hey, this is what other clubs are doing, top level clubs are doing, right? You can't just eat what you want to eat. He's bringing that, and those small details, they matter, bro. They do matter, because a massive reason to why a lot of our players are getting injured is because of what they eat as well, bro. We've heard this so many times from other managers, from football professionals, saying what you eat, it also impacts injuries and things like that. So Man United, we've never been at that level, and it's just great to see that, okay, Ruben Amorim, he's bringing that mindset of, okay, what you eat is extremely important, right? How you train, even at home, is extremely important. So he's just bringing in that mindset, and that interview was amazing, man. We got to hear so much of what he's implementing, so much of what he's really coming here to do. And with Ruben, I'm just happy that, okay, the man, he's here, bro. He's here. Whether people love him or hate him, but he's trying to transform the club. No more commercial this or that. No more being a commercial club where it's all about commercial brands, things like this. We need to move past that. We need to genuinely just move past that and build a situation where the club is all about football, bro. You're all about football, right? Reduce the interviews, reduce this, reduce that, and just focus on revamping Old Trafford, Carrington. The women's team, they were complaining about, hey, something about the women's team or their training facility isn't good enough. At least improve that. That's what Ruben Amorim is talking about. Okay, improve everything. The men's training ground, the women's training ground, everything, bro. You're saying Joshua is not United standards. Seriously, he needs to leave. We need to get in the right players. With Joshua Zerski, I think he's okay as a bench player, bro. Obviously, Josh, first 3 months, he frustrated a lot of fans, right? The first 3 months under Eric Ten Hag, we didn't really see a lot of Joshua Zerski. That those first 3 months under Eric Ten Hag, Joshua Zerski was really, really upsetting a lot of fans. We remember those days where Joshua Zerski, he comes on, people are saying, hey, this man is slower than my grandma. Hey, this man is missing every opportunity. So Joshua Zerski, first 3 months wasn't his best ever, right? I won't even lie. It wasn't his best ever the first 3 months. We saw the criticism the guy was getting. I think when Ruben Amorim came in, there was a game where Joshua Zerski was subbed off at halftime. It wasn't really the best scenario, but we saw some good performances from Joshua Zerski. I think let's see what he can do for another season, right? Obviously it's just his first season. Let's give him another season, bro. Let's give him another season. Maybe he might do something. You're saying ruling players out after one season. That's what I'm saying. Let's give him another season, bro, because last season we were so disorganized. I think none of the players we signed last season can be truly judged because we were so disorganized. Eric Ten Hag got fired. We started so badly and we were just losing game after game after game after game. Nobody was perfect, bro. Nobody was perfect. So writing off players after one season, even some people were writing off Delit. I think none of the players we signed last season, none of them, we shouldn't write off any of them. Mazraoui, Lenny Yoro, as Joshua Zerski. Let's not write them off after one season. It was a horrible season, bro. They came into a mess. A lot of these players, they came into a massive mess. Eric Ten Hag, it was a downhill from there. So let's give them a real proper season because last season, you can't really judge these players. Delit, you can't really judge them based on last season. Even Joshua Zerski, Lenny Yoro, they came into a mess, bro. None of the players that we signed last season, we can't really truly judge them. They came into a massive mess, bro. Right? Two different managers. The whole situation is messed up. You don't know what's genuinely gonna go on. You don't have a style of play. Every week you're losing. It was a massive mess, bro. It was a massive, massive mess. So at least somebody like Rasmus, you can judge him and say, okay, yeah, Rasmus, it's been over one season. It's time to move on. Somebody like Anthony, you can judge him. Okay, Anthony, it's been over one season. It's time to move on. Somebody like a Jadon Sancho, you can judge him. But guys like Delit, even a Joshua Zerski, man, give them one more season. Let's see what he's doing off the bench, right? If Joshua Zerski doesn't deliver off the bench, I don't really think he will deliver. It's up to him to come in and say, okay, let's see how he performs this season, right? Let's see how he performs because if he's a player with high mentality, he's gonna prove himself, bro. He's gonna find his way into the team eventually, right? If he's really that top level players, they always find their way into the team, bro. Look at Amad Diallo, right? He's not a right wing back, but he said, "Yo, I'm gonna play this position and show the manager that hey, I can do a job. I can be useful to the team." Yeah, let's see how he performs this season, bro. Let's see how Joshua Zerski performs this season, bro. Let's not write him off after one season. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Everybody came into a disorganized situation. Eric Ten Hag was really, really, really he set us backwards massively, right? A lot of the Ten Hag players, we might have to sell them. We might genuinely have to sell them. Casemiro, we might need to get rid of him. Anthony might really need to get rid of them. I think under Eric Ten Hag, he only left us with probably Martinez, right? Because I view Delit as a club signing. The signings we made last season, I see them as club signings. Josh Ozerski, I think he was a club signing. Lenny Yoro, a club signing. So under Ruben Amorim, under Eric Ten Hag, I think there's only one real player he left us, Martinez. I don't really think Anthony is a guy you can rely on week in, week out in the Premier League. And Malacia, you gotta get rid of him. So a lot of the Eric Ten Hag signings, we're looking at them like, now it's time to sell them. Rasmus Højlund, same situation, bro. You're saying Casemiro was a club signing. People forget that. Oh yeah. You are right, bro. Yeah. Eric Ten Hag did want Frankie De Jong, and just imagine Frankie De Jong, bro. Just imagine Frankie De Jong, bro. That would have been revolutionary. Frankie De Jong in that midfield. Hey, if Ten Hag got that right, I would have forgiven him for a lot of the bad mistakes he made, because Rasmus Højlund was a massive mistake, especially the amount we paid for. Because how are we getting finesse? You also have to blame the board members, right? High level board members, they're not getting finesse like this. How are you getting finesse for a player that genuinely hasn't done a lot in football? An academy player, you're buying him for over 70 million? Because realistically, Rasmus Højlund at the top level, he's only had like one season, 2 seasons before he joined Man United. He was scoring less than 10 goals. So how are you paying over 70 million for Rasmus? So we have to blame the board for that signing as well, bro. I blame the board and Eric Ten Hag for a lot of the signings, bro. Anthony, how are you paying so much money for Anthony, bro? So you gotta blame the board and Ten Hag. But yeah, you're right, bro. Casemiro, he was a club signing, but Casemiro at the time, it was okay, man. I won't even lie. At the time, it was okay. He was really still a top level midfielder. Of course, some people say, hey, he was still coming towards the end of his career, but at the time, I understood it. Because at the time when Casemiro came, I think that was the season Eric Ten Hag just came in, and then we were on a high. We thought we were gonna challenge for something, and then they brought in Casemiro. They brought in, I think that's the same season when Ronaldo came in. So they were building something where, ah, I don't think it was a bad signing, bro. I don't think it was a bad signing. Just based on, he did win an FA Cup. He was really influential. Carabao Cup, he was really influential. But you would have rather had a Frankie De Jong. Let's just be real. With Frankie De Jong, he gives you longevity. He genuinely does. We're not in a situation where you're saying, hey, Frankie De Jong is getting too old. If we sign Frankie De Jong over Casemiro, you're still looking at Frankie De Jong and saying, yo, yeah, Frankie De Jong and Ugarte, these guys are balling out. These guys are balling out. That should have been our situation right now. We should have been seeing a midfield of Frankie De Jong and Ugarte just balling out, bossing midfields. Ugarte recovering the ball, Frankie De Jong doing what Frankie De Jong does. It would have been special, bro. It would have been special, bro. Yeah, that was a very big mistake, but the board have made so many massive mistakes, right? We have to blame the Man United board. They've made so many massive mistakes. And as United, let's just get into a situation where you build a team for longevity, right? No more having a situation where you're overpaying for players. I think this summer it's been okay, just based on Cunha and Buemo. Those are good signings, but you still need more, bro. You still need more. But building a foundation, bro, we need that. If Frankie De Jong came, it would have been special, bro. It would have been special because You're talking about a situation of De Jong, Ogate recovering the ball for De Jong. Hey, that's different type of source. Of course, I like Kobe Mainoo, but is Kobe Mainoo on a De Jong level? We gotta be realistic. He's nowhere near Frankie De Jong. The passing of Frankie De Jong, the way De Jong just drives with the ball, the way De Jong just controls. Sometimes he just knows how to control the midfield, bro. So De Jong would have been the perfect signing, bro. I think we messed up with that one, but let's see which midfielder we bring in. But overall, let's just hope today we have like a good game. I appreciate everybody that genuinely tuned in. I will do like a watch along for today's game. Let's hope it is exciting. Cunha is here. Umbuemo is here. It's gonna be exciting, bro. It's gonna be exciting. I'm just so excited to see our two guys playing for Man United. Cunha and Umbuemo. That connection is exciting me, bro. That connection is exciting, right? Cunha and Umbuemo. Let them link up extremely well. And that's why I'm saying if you just improve the midfield, right? Getting another midfielder, I think we're way more fluid as a team. We're way more fluid as a team. A midfielder that can genuinely play, right? A midfielder that can recover the ball but also play. Looks like that's the type of midfielder Ruben Amorim has been rumored to want. Somebody that is box to box with intensity but is also good on the ball. So if you bring a midfielder like that, bro, we're looking extremely fluid. The football we're gonna be playing is fluid, right? Because you have Cunha, you have Mbuemo, and we've seen for Wolves, Cunha getting the ball off this guy, you gotta foul him. So he barely loses a ball. He's tidy on the ball. Same with Mbuemo in some situations. Brian Mbuemo tidy on the ball as well, bro. He's really good on the ball. They don't lose the ball too much. So I like players like this where they're not losing the ball too much, right? They're tidy on the ball. Not like a Garnacho situation. You know what's gonna happen, bro. Because we had so many situations where we're playing. The moment it goes to Garnacho, it's either he wants to go solo, selfish, he doesn't want to pass, or he wants to take a shot himself. So there were a lot of frustrating moments with Garnacho where either he doesn't want to pass, your fullback is making an overlapping run, but then Garnacho doesn't pass. With Cunha, the guy is gonna pass, the guy is gonna keep it moving, keep the ball moving, 1-2 passing. I like that, bro. With Garnacho, he was keeping the ball for a bit too long, right? So that genuinely destroyed the attack. Either he keeps the ball for too long or he's losing the ball too much. So that really destroys the attack. And that's the frustrating thing with Rashford and Garnacho. Rashford and Garnacho, they love doing that, where they keep the ball for too long and then they lose it. They lose it. That was so frustrating, right? I like Cunha because he's going to keep it moving, bro. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, passing 1-2. And that's the type of player you genuinely need, right? Somebody that's keeping it moving, a bit more fluid. So Cunha is a massive signing for us, bro, because at least he's gonna keep it simple, keep it moving. He won't lose the ball too much. Last season, we're just getting frustrated every time in the final third. You're losing the ball immediately, bro. Immediately, our players are just losing the ball. That was so frustrating, right? Final third. That's why we struggle to score goals, because every time the ball got to the final third, a player loses it. One of our player loses it, or the pass isn't good enough. We at least now we have a foundation where the players, they know what they're doing. They're building a foundation. We're building something, a momentum. We're building a better situation. But really appreciate everybody that joined the stream and looking forward to this game, man. Mbuemo with Cunha. Hey, let's hope they cook, man. Let's hope they cook. And Bruno Fernandes, I think he's gonna score today. I hope it's a 3-0 over 3 goals. Mbuemo gets his goal, Cunha gets his goal, Bruno gets a goal. Hey, maybe even Ahmad gets a goal. Let's just hope it's goal galore today. Let's just hope it's goal galore today. Let's hope we're just cooking. We beat Everton and just entertain, bro. I've been entertained with preseason, no doubt about it. Especially the one against Bournemouth. You're scoring amazing goals, great transitional plays. It was amazing, bro. Let's just hope we see that today. Ruben Amorim talking with confidence. he's really feeling that it feels like we're back. It feels like we might be back, but it's only preseason, but we're still gonna get hyped up about it, bro. We're still gonna get hyped up about it. Really appreciate everybody that joined the stream, man. Appreciate it. And let's just hope United this season we do what we need to do. Do what you need to do, man. Do what you need to do as Manchester United.